Happy Friday and welcome to What the Hell Happened This Week. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dustin. Another crazy week. Just so exciting, huh? It's just so fun every single week, every day.
America, the reality show.
Exactly. He's just like pulled us in a reality show from hell.
hmm So, what should we start with? Um, so much happens in a week.
Oh man, you know.
Should we talk shutdown to get it
Yeah,
going?
let's talk shutdown. They it's all the Democrats' fault, of course.
All our
Even
fault
though
because we want to give free health care to immigrants.
which is complete bullshit and
I mean, to
everybody calls them out on it.
undocumented immigrants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just all bullshit, but they just keep repeating it. They've just learned that like they just
yeah.
repeat it all the time. Everybody starts believing or enough people believe it. So
hmm
at least it's good to see like media push back a little bit, because they don't
hmm
push back at all, and it's a little late for it. They've always just let them get away with saying whatever on their show, but at least they're like, well, it's not really true. Um, so uh, I'm glad that's at least they are pushing back on it. But yeah, I mean, this is the Republicans control every aspect of government, from the judiciary, the legislative branch, the executive branch. I mean, they control everything, but we always end up in shutdowns whenever Republicans uh, are in charge. They cause shutdowns all the time. And really, they only need to convince like a few Democratic votes in the Senate. And they can't even do that. They're not even trying. They're just doubling
hmm
down
Yeah,
with threats.
because they figured out how to spin this to benefit them.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're pretending like it's benefiting them by threatening everybody by withholding funds, which you're gonna withhold funds anyway. They said if
Yeah, like
mom
that
didn't,
alone, like how is that not a story? Like Carolyn Levitt saying we will use it against blue, like will hurt you. Like how is that not the main story? And
exactly. They've
also like
normalized it so much
and
over the
also
past
this
years.
the, I hate this narrative of this idea that the blue states are going to be targeted or the red states, and it's like every state is divided. Not everyone in Louisiana is a Republican.
Right.
um and so that idea is just uh it's just so like not intelligent either. It's just kind of like this like fear mongering, um fear-based threat is all it is.
Yeah,
But
and vengeance is so ugly.
yeah,
It's so anti-Christian, really against
yeah.
just it's just such a low moral philosophy to have on everything. And the fact that just they've normalized it. I mean, going back to their first term, um, he was always threatening to withhold funds for like emergencies and stuff in blue states. And and now with the shutdown saying that they're going to withhold, they do that all the time anyway. The fact that they can weaponize government like this and get away with it, seizing money that was appropriated by Congress, seizing that money, which is illegal, by the way.
hmm
Supreme Court keeps um, letting them have it until like arguments are held. Um, they get these temporary uh, things where they're allowed to keep doing it for a while. Um, it's just it's maddening.
My two favorite clips I saw this week were first the one of, and I forget the lady's name, who um approached who's our guy, who's the speaker, Mike Johnson, and said
Mm,
that the it was like a hot mic, and he said the president
yeah,
is unhinged. I
he's
loved
like,
seeing that
yeah,
his the
he
way that
knows it.
he responded verbally, but more than that, and his nonverbal to that were just,
Yes,
it was so cringy. And it's just like we've all talked to that person.
yeah,
And it was just spineless. You could just see the missing spine
Yeah.
through the lens.
Yeah, because the senator is like, "You know this, that he's
Yeah.
unhinged," and he's like, I'm
He's
sorry,
like,
like,
"Well, you
y'all
have it
have
too.
people
You have some
too."
the both
Like
sides." It's like,
like
"No,
and then he puts on this mask
unhinged."
with his talking points. Mike Johnson is such a, a loyal
Well,
soldier.
did you also see the videos? There was, like, a threat that someone had his Grindr, profile and his, IP address linked to it. There was, like,
Oh,
some
really?
threats.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw something like that. I didn't
I've
know if it
been
was
I've
true or
been
if it was
hearing lots of rumors around that, and it all goes back to the hypocrisy. But speaking of hypocrisy, my other favorite clip, was of James, Tallarico in Texas, who's,
Mm,
he's a Christian Democrat, and he said, um, he called out the hypocrisy. He says, Jesus in the New Testament, he doesn't talk about going to church. He doesn't talk about praying. Most of the New Testament is him healing sick people. And he's like,
mm.
if you are a devout Christian, that's what you should be doing is helping the less fortunate and the needy to be less sick. And he's like, y'all are literally doing the opposite by taking healthcare away and making it more expensive. He's like, there's no clearer hypocrisy than this alone. He's like, if you are a devout Christian, that should be like your main goal and mission in doing good deeds.
Yeah, that's not what they care about. How they've hijacked Christianity and used it to grow their power to this level. Um, I guess it's not surprising. It's happened throughout history, and they're doing it again. But um, it's just such a just despicable way of using religion and as their guiding light, this warped version of
Mhm.
Christianity.
It's like a shield too. It's like a shield that protects them from any wrongdoing and while simultaneously giving forgiveness along the way too.
Mm, yeah, yeah, and
It's a mask. It's nothing but a
and
mask.
they're like all Project 2025 now. All admitting it after they've implemented it all.
Shocking. We all
Like
knew.
like just straight up lie. They just straight up lie and get
Yeah,
away with it.
yeah.
Like it used to be
And
taboo to like lie. If you got caught, it was like so embarrassing.
yeah,
Um, in politics, but
right.
now it's just like they've learned they
And
just straight up lie.
there was at least CNN, who I've been disappointed in a lot lately, but they played a clip when it was like a roundtable discussion, and they were talking about, how he's meeting with the head writer, the Project 25. They rolled the clip of all of the instances in the campaign when Trump denied knowing what 2025, Project 2025
Mm.
is. Like, don't even, it's
Mm.
the same with the Epstein list. Like, all of a sudden, what is that? It's nothing. It's
And he's
nothing.
just such a shameless piece of crap, just like, and people wonder why we get pissed at Trump and MAGA and everything. It's just a complete sham. And also, I love the tweet that Gavin Newsom's press office or whatever put out.
Still going strong.
Did you see? They showed a picture of like
Marie
Trump's face.
Antoinette.
Me as Marie Antoinette. Like
No,
says
no health care for you and
no health
ballroom.
care for the peasants. Um and a ballroom for the queen. And it has Trump as like Queen Antoinette. And it's so true. Like he's building this like massive ballroom. Who knows how much it's gonna
Did
cost?
you
I'm sure it's
did you
gold
see
plated.
the South Park episode where everyone was lined up to talk with him and they all had like their golden statues and medallions and somebody had just like a giant diamond on a pillow? Like, wait, this is funny because it's so true. It's
Yes.
so disgusting and blatantly corrupt and blatantly childish. It's like, what sort of Black Mirror alternate reality are we living in? And then
Yeah.
my main thing, I'm just getting so frustrated, and you touched on this earlier with the media, like normalizing this, like taking all of these instances and quotes and stances and platforms and making it seem like it's a normal thing, or it's just like, here's their side. Oh, and now here's what the other side is saying. Like, it's not normal. It's not normal. Nobody's calling it what it is.
Yeah, conservative media, like, they played the long game by, like, just hammering on mainstream media for decades and just beat them down, and it's really called working the refs, to where they're so
Mm,
scared, um, of seeming, biased, they're afraid to call out anything. And then
yeah,
in a
that's a
way,
perfect analogy.
and they also so they loosen, um, you know, how they pressure conservative politicians and let them get away with anything, and then they go overboard to prove their unbiasedness by putting Democrats on the hot seat all the time. And
Hmm.
it's just, the fact that, it just shows like all of these nefarious ways, propaganda and everything, and it just how it works, and how important they knew how important the media is,
Hmm.
over all of these years, and to see it just all of that work that they put in, they're seeing the fruits of all that right now. It's I don't know, it's just makes me feel really bad about things. There's so many things that we have to fix. And this government shutdown too, it's like I've always hated the shutdowns before. I think it's like so stupid that we even have this. But it's the Republicans that are always doing it, especially when Democrats are in office. They always say the debt. Um, um, and as soon as they come in, which
They start
Trump,
screaming, "Oh, but the debt!" But then they pile it
and they
on
just
when it's
don't
done.
give a damn about the debt.
Yeah.
They really do not give a damn about the debt.
Mm-mm.
They've been saying it for decades and
It's a perfect
always using that.
scapegoat when they need it.
Exactly. And then when somebody pointed out that I think Trump's last term like blew up the debt by like 20% of our entire national debt, or 30%. It's all from like the Trump administration. Most of them are from Republican administrations, and now again, in this new administration is blowing up the debt. And they don't really care about that. And this is one of those times, and I read Ezra Klein's video essay he released a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago about how we should shut down the government. Because yes, I mean the few it's one of the few things that Democrats can do right now, because we have absolutely no power. If five or six or seven Democrats just hold the line on this, because yes, we shouldn't participate in this government that is. Um, just stealing the rights of so many people with this mass deportation. So many people are getting caught up in there. It's done in such an unethical way with masks on. Um, the tariff situation, completely illegal. I mean, this is unconstitutional. Even the Supreme Court knows that. They're going to declare it unconstitutional. They have to, because it's pretty clear in there. And the fact that he's going to try to run again in 2028, talks about it all the time. He obviously is. Um, like, we can't be a part of this government. And I think just asking for a simple thing like not to kick off tens of millions of Americans off healthcare, and keeping the subsidies in place that go to working class Americans for healthcare. Some of their subsidies are going to go up 100, 200%. We know how important that is. Like, it's not much we're asking for here, and it's for working class people. So Trump and them are trying to make it about just crazy Democrats and everything. Um, but I don't think
And they've
Americans
been
buy into it
they've
either.
they've been going after Obamacare, ACA, for as long as it's been created. So
Yeah.
this is just a workaround for them to finally
Yeah, they stopped
kind of
saying
get
they were
rid of it.
against it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They
they
stopped
went through
saying
the
they
back
realized
door.
that it's
Yeah.
unpopular for like the last
Mhm.
15 years to say that they're
Mhm.
like want to end it. Now they're just like, well, why don't we just lie to the American people and
Yep.
just do it behind the scenes, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because the media's not going to call them out for it. So, um, and well played. Well played, guys. Y'all.
Again, they're writing rewriting the playbook. Um, and then did I saw you posted something, so you know about it, but apparently it was either yesterday or the day before, in the middle of the night, um, like full blown militia ICE agents, Border Patrol. They said that there was like helicopters, Black Hawks, in the middle of the night,
At 2
barged
in the
into
morning.
this 2 in the morning, barged into this entire apartment complex, claiming that that's where Trenda Agua, some of the leaders weren't. Of course, there was no
They just
search
say that
warrants.
anytime they
Yeah,
see
they
anything,
just
like,
throw that out
everybody's
there.
yeah.
Trenda, like they didn't provide any proof or evidence,
And they never
obviously.
provide any evidence during or after the fact.
So it's middle of the night. Families live here. There are reports that like people, even some kids, were like unclothed, naked. They were zip tying them into
Yes.
handcuffs and walking them out. And these were also like American citizens. I did hear a report that it was African American, like Black American citizens being zip tied and taken outside. And just the reports are saying that the treatment they got was just god awful, un American, despicable, inhumane. And like,
Yeah, one of the ICE
I'm
agents said,
only,
like, laughed and said, "F those kids."
yes, I'm only seeing this like on social media platforms being reported. And so it's like, is this where we are? Like, this is now normal. And this is what all of that has been. This is what the masked ICE agents, the invading the American cities. This is what all of this is leading up to, is to normalize situations like this so that there is no outrage when little kids are zip tied naked and taken outside in the middle of the night for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, it's just so
Really, I was
funny.
just like so sad reading that and just
Yeah,
feeling for those families like,
it reminds me too, and I want to talk about Hegseth and Trump's
oh
speech
God.
to the army generals. But Trump made a joke in his speech because he was trying so hard to make jokes to get the generals to make any noises. But he like joked about how Venezuela, like nobody's driving boats off the coast of Venezuela because they're blowing up these boats. Like, and there's already reports saying like you're killing like regular fishermen and people with no evidence at all. They've killed these people, and now no, everybody around that coastline of Venezuela, or in the northern part of South America, are scared to even ride a boat in the water because they're afraid that a missile's going to come blow them up. And that's where we are right now. And the fact that he like joked about that to our generals, which by the way was
Read the effing room.
like, I was nervous, really nervous about him calling all the
I
800
was
generals to
very
Quantico,
nervous.
Virginia. Um, but whenever I saw it was televised, I was like, oh, I was like, let's hope these generals aren't going to just play into Trump's hands and, reminded me of Trump going to speak at West Point, and they like filtered out anybody that would disagree with Trump. They like asked their politics, so he made sure and only had
Right,
Republican people. Yeah, he couldn't do it with this. So I'm
right.
glad they televised this because it was very embarrassing. This was a big loss, I think, for Trump and Hegseth. Because I mean, I watched the whole thing live. I watched Trump before he got on the helicopter to Quantico. He was like, "I'm gonna. If they say anything, I'm gonna fire them on the spot," you know. And then he gets there, and
A
Hegseth,
small little man.
Hegseth is such a dumbass.
Oh my
Like,
God. Wait, time
this
out.
is-
Can I tell you this? My favorite like thread or tweet or whatever of the week about him was, said Pete Hegseth is Axe body spray. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
oh my God.
I was like, that's it. That's it. It's the perfect explanation, the perfect descriptor. And that's
Like you
what he
could
was
tell all
on
the
the
generals,
stage.
like this is somebody that like you just know the generals because they've been in the military their entire life. They've seen people like him, like these just worms that are all about show, and um, he doesn't have any big honors in the military or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's in control of them, and he's giving like a pep speech and criticizing them at the same time. Like he can it was so flat the whole time. There was like no noises while he's giving like this. this stupid like little life
I
coaching speech in front of
in
them.
his ill-fitting suit, by the way.
Yes, it's like tight, it was
Mm.
so embarrassing. And what was it? Um well, yeah, and he talked about how obesity is a problem and stuff, and I'm just thinking
And, like, didn't
like
he talk about, like,
the
facial
president is
hair?
obese. Yeah,
Like yes,
like you're talking about um like having a good brand of military, and like he is one of the worst reflections of the military. Like he's such an embarrassment to all those
yeah,
people there. You know they can't
and they
stand
know,
people like him.
and it was reflected in their response, their lack
Yeah.
of response.
Yeah, just you just see the back of their heads, you know what I mean? No movement or
No
anything.
movement,
And he was
just
just like
silence.
and he was
He was
just
like
giving
he
this
was like
speech,
he was like
you know?
waiting for the uproar and the applause, and it was just cricket.
It was just so awesome, and
Like,
then,
I'm just like, "Let's go to the drawing room," where they're like, "You know what we need? We need to gather the generals and get 'em pumped up for the Department of War."
yeah,
Like, they were so
exactly, he
excited
had the
about
big
this.
American flag, like, from the famous scene of, General Patton, and I forgot what movie that was with General like, he really wanted to, like,
Yeah,
portray like he was the new Patton in
yeah.
front of all these generals, and they
And I
just
love
weren't
how
having it.
they intentionally clapped for the other generals that came up to speak, but then it was
Yeah,
silence for Trump and Hegseth. And it's like, well,
yeah,
that's all you need. They're like,
and Trump
it could have been an email,
and Trump's speech was just an
mm,
hour of rambling.
as it
He's
always is.
he's obviously, he's obvious on some kind of speed or something because, it's in the morning, he's just talking, 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 sniffling and stuff like that, and just rambling on. And again, these are not just any people. These are freaking generals that had many of them flew across the world to be there. They knew it was
Hmm.
going to be bullshit,
Hmm.
or that they were going to get pressured.
Hmm.
But I noticed, like, I think Trump and them wanted them to, like, I don't know, either clap or somebody, yell and say something so we can fire him in front of
Yeah,
everybody,
he
you
was
know?
poking the bear there.
But he
Like,
was,
it
like,
was some,
sneaking in, like, some little things like, and if you don't like it, you can resign or something." Like, he
mhm,
is such a little scaredy cat, like, it
mhm.
just showed, like, how, he projects, all this power, that he's a strong man or whatever, but he is such a wuss whenever
And
faced
just
with that.
this
He couldn't
idea.
do it. He was intimidated by all
And
them
this
scaredy cats.
idea that he dodged the draft because of his bone spurs, and you're up
Exactly.
here with the audacity to talk to these
Mm.
generals. Oh, man. I'm so happy that that ended up being like a whoopee cushion of a meeting, because
Yeah.
I was nervous for it, but,
Yeah, because he's realizing, like, his grip of power is, like, slipping away.
mm,
Like, his public perception is dropping by the week. He At the rate he's going, it's not good for 2026 midterms. Again, he needs these midterms. The Republicans need to win it so he can have them certify a fake election.
mhm,
That so he's got to go all in right now, and he needs the military. Got the National Guard right now doing some stuff, picking up trash and stuff in D.C., which kind of blew up on him. Um, yeah, but he knows the real power is in the military, and it shows that he really struck out on this. I don't know what he's going to do now um, because um, it was just such a fail
I
whenever
just
he went there.
all I can think about is, like, I wanna be a fly on the wall with, like, the private conversations amongst the generals before and after, like, the ones that are, like, friends, like, what was the tea? Like, what were they saying before and after? Like, talking so much shit and probably, like,
How
secretly
many eye rolls were they?
Yeah,
Made eye with another general across the room. It
yeah.
was, they were just
And the
like,
secret organizing of, like, how, like, intentionally, like, let's clap for our people, but not for them. Like, you just know all of that was somehow orchestrated
yeah,
beforehand.
exactly. Yeah, the one other topic I want to get to before we stop is just Louisiana based. Jeff Landry goes on the bat signal, Fox News, to like call daddy, because I think Landry is like getting jealous that Trump is like fighting with all these other like Democratic governors, Newsom and Pritzker and stuff, and he's just jealous. He's not getting any
Daddy,
attention.
look at me.
So he's like, "Oh, Trump, please send the troops to New Orleans," and I just made
Which is
a
such like a own goal. It's such a own goal.
yes. It's like these little sycophants like Governor Landry and some others that like um Trump just doesn't like them because like Trump sets the narrative. Um, he wanted everybody to be mad at DC. He wants to send the troops to DC and to LA and to Chicago because he wants to attack the blue states. Um, and so he can normalize sending troops to those places, especially for the Electoral College in 2028. He wants to be able to send troops over there to depress turnout.
Mhm.
Um, I get this because I understand Trump's persuasion and how he moves. So whenever everybody a few months ago when he was first sent the troops to DC, everybody's like, well, the red states have the highest crime. And he
Mhm.
was ignoring it for a while. And it's a very inconvenient fact for the Republicans. And because everybody then is looking like, hey, actually, it's like all the red states have high crime. And the cities, especially in red states, have like the highest crime. And it's obvious why, because Republicans are just terrible governors of state. Like all they do is literally just cut taxes. Is their main like mission in every state. And when you do that, um, that means you don't have any money to invest in things like education and lifting
And
people out of poverty and health and everything like that.
infrastructure.
All that stuff leads to more crime. So it's like it's
Mhm.
not a surprise that red states have more crime. But Trump does not want to call attention to it. He kind of gives lip service to it. It's like, oh, we're going to send people to Memphis, or we're going to send just to get people off their back to act like he's being unbiased about it. But he doesn't like want
Exactly.
he doesn't want to like send them into the red states. Um,
He doesn't want to
so
have to
so of,
admit that
of course of course Landry
that's where
doesn't
the
get it. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh, send him over here, and I'm like, no, you're messing with his vibe. Like Trump, like don't ask for things
he's
from
gonna
Trump.
slap you for even
Yes,
trying to get his attention.
and
He's gonna get
and like if
slapped.
you want his attention, like he should be known by now. Like you got to give him $1 million. Like Trump, it doesn't do things for free.
You gotta
Like
bring the giant diamond on the pillow, on the
exactly.
velvet pillow. You gotta bring the golden phone, the golden
It's
record, the golden bar,
yeah. If you don't have ten
the
million
purchase
dollars,
of the crypto. Like,
yes,
duh, little Jeff, get with the program,
get with the program.
please.
So that's where we are right now. No, of course, Trump hasn't even responded to him because he's like probably annoyed by him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Trump, like Landry, like Trump already knows you're going to help him steal the election. Like all these red states, like he doesn't want to mess with y'all. He's got all the red states, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Oklahoma. He's got them all in the bag. They're all
Yeah,
ready and willing to steal
yeah,
the election. Do whatever Trump wants. He already knows that. So don't
yeah.
bother him right
He's
now
he's
while
he's
he's doing his thing.
he's going off script, and he's gonna get in trouble for it. It's not gonna do you any favors. Do not go off script. You're effing it up.
Right. Yes.
You're becoming the black sheep, actually.
Yeah.
So, in fact, continue that, and then New
And I'm giving
Orleans.
honest advice to Landry. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean?
You
Like,
should. It's like, he should be paying you for this solid feedback. But honestly,
thank you.
I think the citizens of New Orleans at this point are laughing so hard at like if it's kind of like important, like
Yeah.
Portland, like bring them here. We will mock them. We will put Mardi Gras beads on them. Like we will buy them hand grenades. Like you will regret the day that you brought military here.
Well, and the thing is, like, the LA National Guard is just normal people. They're just a lot of them are like
Mhm.
they work, and have families and stuff. Like they don't
Yes.
want to just go stand around in New Orleans, um, and just be taken away from like their
Mhm.
everyday lives. So it's not really that. I think the ICE for sure, the people that sign up for that, like, yeah, because they'll be there too.
Yeah.
They'll use it as a way to bring in a lot of ICE and terrorize people and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And you're right. I think New Orleans will, you know, make it into a party,
Yeah.
and
The New Orleans citizens, they want anti-corrupt local politicians. They want their freaking potholes fixed, okay?
yes,
They
yeah,
want normal roads. They want to get rid of the illegal the ticketing cameras. They want the NOPD to show up within 30 minutes of calling them when there's an
right,
emergency. Like, why don't y'all focus on those simple things that a city needs to be safe and functioning?
right.
It's just like, it's so stupid.
Yeah,
So
and they're
stupid.
and Landry's asking for the federal government to pay for it. I'm like, so like a red state. Like we literally we cut billions and billions of dollars a year in tax revenue from all these industries that are polluting us and blow it up everywhere and not paying any taxes. Like just in November, I always like to repeat this. Just this past November in the special session, they cut $600 million a year, uh, tax cut for industry in getting rid of the franchise tax and of course raise sales taxes to cover a lot of that. So like $600 billion a year, some of that to, could be used to have uh, more police, higher pay, so we make sure and have good police officers and we can hire the best of the best and detectives and everything to really help bring down crime. And also, with that $600 million, yes, to build schools and to help lift people out of poverty. Raising the sales tax helps keep people in poverty. I mean, we need to do things to help
Mhm.
working class people in the state. I mean, it's not. I mean,
Not rocket science. It's not
exactly.
rocket science. But let Jeff go on his little crusade to get some Trumpy point.
Yeah, he's going down.
We'll
Like Republicans,
we'll have a
I give Republicans all the time. Hey, I'm a Republican. I can't stand Landry. Like I'm doing this to help out Jeff. You know what I mean? Like, like, he won't listen to my advice, of course, but I mean, I'm being honest about it. Like, he's
yeah,
dropping in the polls
yeah.
big time with, Democrats already hate him. But he needs every bit of those Republican votes. He had a squeaker in a low turnout election
Mhm.
um, to win governor. And there's going to be a lot of Republicans that would like to be governor and can't stand him right now. So I
I don't
I
know
don't
about
think he
you,
does.
but I'm feeling like I want to get in a voting booth. I want to get in a voting booth, and I hope the entire country feels that way.
Ready to
Like,
push that button.
cannot wait. Day one, early voting. I want to push some buttons, and I want to push all
Yes.
of them. And I just hope that everyone has that energy. Come, I know Louisiana doesn't have a big one anytime soon, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen in New York. Um, I'm going to be following all of them, but hopefully that energy we start to
April's going to
see.
be a big one. We
April.
have our primaries for Congress in April in Louisiana, but we have the New Orleans mayoral election going on right now. So hopefully
Oh
people
yeah,
turn out for that because we need
that'll be
New
exciting.
Orleans. New Orleans is such an important part of democracy in Louisiana. So New Orleans
Yeah.
has been trending down over the last decade or so in voter turnout. Like I'm hoping that changed in this
It
past
was
election.
really bad for the governor's election. Really
Exactly. But
bad.
but then with
Like
the amendment
embarrassing.
election, the amendments in
Right.
March, there's like New Orleans turned out higher than the state. So
People
I'm
were ready to
hoping,
get in a voting booth.
yes. So
That pendulum swing. Well,
I'm
it'll
hoping we
get
have
you.
great turnout in New Orleans for this mayoral election, and let's start building New Orleans again. In
Yeah.
April next year, we have more crappy amendments on the ballot that we have to reject. Yeah, let's keep building here in
Yeah.
Louisiana. I'm so for it.
Yes. And remember, when you're making your gumbo, when the temperature drops, for anyone watching not in Louisiana, never add tomatoes to your gumbo.
Mm,
Don't do it. PSA.
so glad you
All
mentioned
right.
that.
It's an important issue. We need to get that in the vote on the voting ballot. Okay, y'all. Thanks for tuning in this week. Are you gonna be here next week, Dustin? You're going out of town, but just for this
Oh
weekend.
yeah, we have fall break for our kids, so yeah, we'll be on break next weekend.
Um, so we won't be here
We
next
won't
weekend.
Friday, yeah, because I won't be here
Okay.
Friday.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks after
Yes.
that. So, but we'll send out those show notes. Oh, and one last announcement. We have been teasing a workshop, a live workshop for Dustin and I, sort of a convening over what to do with your wealth and your money in this kind of new world order that we're in. So it's going to be kind of like a what to do to prepare your money for the fall of democracy. I have I'll include the wait list link again, but as soon as we confirm the date will be Wednesday, November 12th at 12 p.m. Central. So I'll include that in the show notes so you can save the date. And then as soon as I get the login info up, hopefully in 2 weeks, the next time we meet, that official link to sign up. But I will be sending the link to register to the people who sign up on the wait list. So go find that in the show notes, sign up, and we're excited to dig a little deeper for those who are worried about what to do with your money
Definitely.
in this political climate. So, okay. Oh, and go. Dustin's got a more in depth Substack post on Jeff Landry this week, so go read that, and I'll link all of that. So, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Take care of yourself. Go have some fun.